Let's do another TwinTrash album review. We are going to review by the renowned storyteller and rapper Kendrick Lamar. How yum is this? How beautiful is this? And how enjoyable is this? It is a quite beautiful album in terms of music and rhythms and harmonies. At some places it's really beautiful. Suddenly like choirs and shifts in mood that make you think, wow, this is a piece of art. Kind of colorful in places, some really floaty beats, a lot of really heavy beats that are quite loopy or repetitive, which, you know, can be boring, but they're not bad in any sense. So it's pretty good in terms of production and enjoyableness. There's a fun backwards beat on the track Lust. And there's some pretty trippy but beautiful areas on Pride. There's some funky, jumpy beats on Feel and Yeah and XXX. But overall, it's not extremely beautiful. It's raw and heavy. So I'm gonna give this 16 of 20 on the yum point. The second point is diverse, and unfortunately this album isn't super diverse, but it's not anti-diverse either. It has different aspects, some vocals, and Kendrick Lamar, like before, he's pretty good at making his voice sound pretty differently from track to track, at least to some extent. You know, you can grow tired of his voice, but he's good at making it work in different ways, suddenly being quite whiny, and then shouty, and then kind of tired, and then, you know, rhythmically choppy or more talky, which makes it quite diverse in that sense. But on the whole, it's not a diverse record because, you know, it is mainly consisting of him talking on top of beats and some instrumentation by Thundercat on Feel and Bad Bad Not Good on Lust, which is pretty cool. I would say 13 out of 20 on diverse. How appealing is this? This is the third point, and it's the point where this record is just extremely strong. It has Kendrick going off talking about a lot of really important stuff about being human. Starts off quite dissing, like angry, like, hey, I'm bad and stuff sucks, I don't care and everything's empty. Kind of asking what's left then, and what is left if everything's empty and meaningless is brutal human honesty. And that is where this record is powerful. It is really strong when it comes to appealing to the inner depth of your heart and soul and mind, and your weaknesses. It makes you feel vulnerable. It tackles so many, well, yeah, quite different aspects of human experience. Yeah, not a lot of music hits you in the face like this stuff. Tackling just the ego and just pointlessness in being alone, a human, societal themes as well, poverty, but kind of looking into the human core of those societal problems, like you know, gun violence, criminality,
social relations,
lust for politics on the track Lust,
relationships, crime,
yeah, being humble,
drugs,
or should I say being not humble, because the track Humble is kind of about being humble because I'm not. There's some cynicism on this, on the end of the track Fear. School shootings, corruption, ignorance, sexuality, really deep stuff going on in this record, which is impressive and makes this really strong when it comes to being appealing. It stays with you, and it's worth listening to over and over again because the lyrics are dense, just really saturated with
poverty,
pain and emotion,
being alone,
coming straight from
hope, emptiness,
his darkest places of his mind. So, 19 out of 20 on appealing. A really good score. The next point is new. How groundbreaking and original is this? Is this gonna be like a thing that in 20 years people are gonna talk about and say, oh, that was really ahead of his time, it's still ahead of his time, it created so much new? And no, it's not really new and groundbreaking. It's pretty normal, you know. You could say this has been done before, unfortunately, but that doesn't mean it's not good. But in some ways it's original too, because it has a quite chaotic way of dealing with these themes, and it goes off into different kind of beats and productions. It's not boring at all, and it hits you in the face all over and over again. But it's not very new.
Pray for me.
But I would actually give it 11 out of 20, like more than average groundbreaking, just because it has a quite original way of dealing with this. The last point is handcrafted. I'm gonna give this 17 out of 20 because there's a lot of good, skilled artists on this that are doing a great job. Some people you hear the voices of, some people you don't. U2 is actually on this,
and
which is pretty cool.
and
Rihanna, the track Loyalty, I found a little boring, unfortunately. That's just how it is. So if you add all this, it gives you a score of 76%, which is pretty good. It's worth listening to, probably over and over again. It's a good achievement by Kendrick Lamar, and it's yeah, it's quite admirable that he manages to get all this stuff into these short, compressed songs. And in that sense, it's quite an important work of art.
TwinTrash!
Do you think an album is underrated?
If you like any particular music, or don't like any particular music, tell us about it. Old or new, forgotten or really famous. We might check it out and give it a review. You never know.
Keep loving the music, loving the people, loving the music, loving.